Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. A day late due to the holiday, but both DC and Marvel reviews are here. In this video, we will be reviewing the books that came out of Marvel, or the all-new Marvel Now as they like to call it. We'll see next year what they call it. And these books were released on April 16th, 2014, and we are in the middle of the biggest time of the year. This is where all the number ones are coming out, all the new big series are starting up, and we're not going to get anything further than this until September. There's a few books in the summer that are going to be coming out, but for the most part, the gigantic bombshell of new books is right now.
Yep, so without further ado, let's get to it.
So, we're starting off with the number ones because here's Ultimate FF number one. And just like in the regular Marvel U, I am not interested at all in Ultimate FF.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew it.
The artwork really turned me off to the book, and then the story just kind of turned me off too.
Why did you get that?
I had to try it. It was a reintroduction to the Ultimate, it's a good jumping on point to the Ultimate Universe. I would dare say I'll pick up Ultimates number 2 way before I pick up Ultimate FF number 2. And basically, Tony Stark is funding the FF, and he's partners with Sue Storm and the Falcon, and Machine Man works with them, and it's with a few agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's all over the place, and
I don't like the artwork.
I'm going to spoil a little bit here, but in the end, that surprise person was Doctor Doom, although everybody saw that coming because guess who joined the FF back in the regular Marvel U? Doctor Doom. So, yeah, I'm just uninterested completely in Ultimate FF number 1. I just can't connect to it. Hulk number 1, however, I'm 50-50 on. I'm not sure, but I'm swaying
Does
more
he have
towards
amnesia
no.
again?
No, it's worse.
Uh-oh.
It's worse than amnesia. Okay, so Bruce Banner was shot in the head in the last issue of...
Oh, yeah, that one. Okay.
The previous volume. So in this volume, issue number 1, Bruce Banner is going in for surgery so they could pull the bullet out and save Bruce Banner's head. However, everybody believes they're S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that are doing this to Bruce Banner, conducting... setting up the operation and everything. However, it's crooked S.H.I.E.L.D. members, if they're even S.H.I.E.L.D. members at all. They're all shadowed and whatnot. And what they want to do is they want to put a thing in Bruce Banner's head that basically at the touch of a button, they could trigger Bruce Banner into hulking out.
So wait, if you push a button, then he turns into the Hulk?
Right.
Like an on and off switch?
Right. Here's the device.
Why would they do that?
Because they want to control the Hulk.
You can't turn the Hulk on and off.
But anyway, the doctor doesn't want to do it. They threaten to kill everybody in the operating room, so you know it's not S.H.I.E.L.D. if they don't perform the procedure. Then one of the nurses actually pulls out the anesthesia. Bruce Banner wakes up. Hulk's out. However, remember, there's this big gaping hole in the back of his head where the surgery was. Hulk escapes. However, as he's escaping, he kind of blanks out because of, obviously, the hole in his head. 2 weeks later, they find Bruce Banner, and he does not have amnesia. Are you ready for this?
Oh, God.
Spoiler alert here. Bruce Banner has irreparable brain damage. He's brain damaged. Don't you see him? Look, he's drawing the ABCs, or he's trying to draw the ABCs. Irreparable brain damage.
Okay. Can you enlighten me why they're giving him brain damage?
I don't know. I guess it's because
he's a scientist.
I guess it's because he hulked out during the operation, and it caused something to happen in his brain. Because if the bullet wasn't taken out a specific way, he would have lost. There was a chance that he would lose his. He would become a vegetable. So the operation went well. However, the hulking out obviously screwed Bruce.
So now we have an on-off switch with brain damage.
No, it's not an on-off switch. He's brain damaged, period.
But you were telling about the button.
Oh, that didn't get implanted.
Oh, it didn't?
Never happened because he hulked out.
Okay, now that makes sense now, but brain damage. Oh, boy.
So who's out to get the Hulk? are they a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're hiding in the ranks? And what the hell's going to happen to Bruce Banner now? I might come back for issue 2 just because I'm super, super curious to see where exactly Mark Waid is taking the Hulk. However, if it's a super heavy week, yeah, I don't think I'll be picking this up either. But if it's a light week, or if it's a week where I can afford it, I think you bought the Hulk actually, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't you buy the Hulk?
I did. Did I?
I don't remember.
I buy so many books, I don't even
I don't
remember.
know. Either way, I'll see if when issue 2 comes out, if I'll grab it. But I love Mark Bagley's artwork. I love Mark Waid's writing in Daredevil. However, again, the Hulk is a very, very special character. If not written right, it just caves in on itself. And now, hold on.
Drink up the Pepsi first. And here we go.
Wolverine and the X-Men, issue number 3. So the Phoenix Order is in Quentin Quire's head. Storm and Wolverine are trying to fight to stop the guy who claims he's from John, who's from the future, who came back to the past. Here we go with the time travel again. This stuff really is getting old. He's from the future. He's come back in time to kill Apocalypse, a.k.a. Evan.
Oh.
Kid Omega.
Yeah.
So, Storm and Wolverine are still trying to save Quentin. And John is now at the Jean Grey School of Higher Learning. Quentin's stuck in his head with this kid. I forgot what his name was. Does it say at the beginning? Probably not. Oh, Eden. Eden Young. Who's in his head trying to get Quentin to light the fire, which will cause him to rebirth. But I think it's really to open his mind up so that Eden can go in and control all of his abilities and Quentin himself. We all think he's a young kid, but actually he's not. He's a pretty, well, I'm not going to say what he is. You'll have to read the issue to find out. But Quentin breaks the hold, saying, you know, I don't need anybody telling me who to be. I'll be who I want to be. He ends up back at the no, he doesn't. The Jean Grey School is about to be attacked by by John from the future. And then Quentin bamfed away, and I know exactly where he is, because you tell me, guys, where are the X-Men in a snowy, mountainy climate? What X-Men are in a snowy, mountainy climate? Which ones, Mike? Which X-Men?
Oh,
Whose boots do those belong to?
Cycle?
Bingo.
Oh. I was trying to figure it out.
You know, Marvel is teasing so much about the X-Men reuniting Professor Xavier when they had the Amazing X-Men, which we're going to get into in a second, you know, in heaven, looking on as Kurt leaves. You know, they're hinting so much about the schism kind of finding a way to heal itself at some point, and they just keep mix-mashing all the X-Men together again. I say, kill Emma Frost and bring the X-Men back together fully.
Kill Emma Frost, yes. And bring the X-Men back by putting them in past, present, and future in the time zones. So
and all back together in one place.
Exactly.
And I don't like this dark future that's in store for the Jean Grey School, you know, for the Wolverine and the X-Men story arcs. They keep hinting that first the world is going to be destroyed by Kid Apocalypse, or Evan, who becomes Apocalypse. Then they were showing Wolverine really old. Years later, remember that flash forward where they showed you in the future? I would like it a little brighter. I have a feeling that,
so you're used to Quinn Quire being the Phoenix.
Yeah, he's not the Phoenix yet.
Well,
he knows he's going to become the Phoenix. He just hasn't become it yet. I'm used to it. I'm ready for it. With the Wolverine thing, though, I don't want to know the future. Stop showing us this apocalyptic future. If that's what you're planning for a story arc, great. Do it in the story arc. Stop dropping these hints about the disgusting, dirty... I mean, obviously it's playing into this story arc, so I can't say don't do it now. But stop dropping hints about it. Either embrace it in the story arc, like you're doing right now, or just let it go. Because we all know Marvel's continuity is ever-changing anyway, so...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at Spider-Man 2099. His future is completely different than what they're showing.
Yeah, but that's in a different universe, in a different situation.
No, same universe. It's claimed to be the future.
I meant to say same universe, but you get what I mean. It's late.
Amazing X-Men issue number 6. I'm glad after this issue it's done with Nightcrawler. The next issue has nothing to do with Nightcrawler. It's official here. Nightcrawler is back, and the Wolverine and the X-Men side of the X-Men are celebrating. Azael's going to jail, and then guess who else shows up? Cyclops. And basically, for one night, Nightcrawler wants to believe that everybody's family again, everybody's back together. Again, I did say this, when Nightcrawler came back, he was going to try to fix things or try to bring things together. And I have a feeling if the X-Men ever do come back together, it's going to be due to Cyclops. Only thing I have a problem with is, I mean, especially with the Avenging the Uncanny Avengers, Alex Scott's brother, Havoc, is right here.
Right.
And he's supposed to be bringing Scott in. They're on... I don't know. But anyway, Mystique shows up to see that her son's really alive, and then she wants to know about Azael. She finds out where he's going. She breaks him out. We think she wants to kill him, but in the end, it turns out this isn't really much of a spoiler. She has a job for him. And it kind of ends on that nice note of Wolverine and Nightcrawler kind of walking off into the sunrise.
As family members.
Oh yeah, they love you. They're best friends. They're the closest. Nightcrawler and Logan have a lot in common.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of, especially because they joined the X-Men, I believe, at around the same time. So it was a nice issue. It was a welcome home Kurt issue. Did you have to read it? No. However, not even 6 issues in, we had a 5-issue story arc where Nightcrawler defeated his father, and now the very next issue, his father's already broken out and somewhere out there in the world again. Only other issue I'm glad this story arc's over is Nova issue 16. Long story short, Nova wins. Nova wins. But he wants to find a place to incarcerate, I forgot his name already, Skarn. He goes back, if you remember story arcs back where he found that first helmet where that bounty hunter was, basically he gives the bounty hunter Skarn in exchange for the Nova mask that the bounty hunter has, and then he gives the Nova proper burial. And then really that's the long and short of it. And the girl, I forgot what her name was, that he went to save, she said that he made an enemy of her because he promised her something he couldn't deliver. And then the last page I'm leaving for you guys because
it looks like it's going to take a big turn for Nova.
Yeah, it definitely is. Because Sam goes back to Earth, and let's just say when he comes face to face with something on his doorstep on the return home, and that's going to lead into the next story arc, which all the regular team will be back on Nova. Not saying this was a bad story arc. If anything, this felt like a transition story arc. They just hyped this transition story a lot with Beta Ray Bill.
Right.
So that's the only thing I feel. Was this a horrible, awful, God thank you, it's over story? No. It was an average read. Not bad, not amazing. It was there. It was nice. And I do like Beta Ray Bill in this. So I'll say it was a nice average read. If you're interested, I would definitely say check it out. 2 books left. Deadpool vs. Carnage issue 2. Deadpool's miniseries alone didn't work. Carnage's miniseries alone, we won't even get into some of those. They undo themselves. This is issue 2 of 5. And it's still going very well. I mean, we got Shriek, who showed up at the end of the last issue. And the Deadpool vs. Carnage in the beginning of the book was pretty dramatically short, thanks to Sheik. Carnage and Sheik escape. Deadpool goes to his locker, his storage locker, to get his spare uniform and weapons. Turns out he didn't do his payments. It turns out somebody won his locker. The book is nuts because the person who won Deadpool's locker...
Who the hell is that?
Yeah, the person who won Deadpool's locker isn't even a fan of Deadpool, but he says that he's connected to the whole crazy that Deadpool and Carnage are on, and he's going to help Deadpool find where Carnage is next. And I love how Cletus Cassidy says, everything from now on is going to be random. And he actually says here, he's never going to find us. We keep moving randomly. So the big key word in this issue, everybody, for those of you that watch the Pee Wee Herman show, every time you hear the word random, the crowd will go, ah, because random is thrown
word
in.
of the day, yeah.
Because that's exactly what Carnage says. You know what? You found me? Well, I'm going to be random from now on. I'm randomly going to do things. And then he's going to keep going, we're random. But guess what? Random's not good enough because Carnage comes face to face with Deadpool again. And then we get the promise of round 2 in the next issue. Now, the next issue is issue 3, which means there's 2 issues after that.
Right.
Hopefully, this Deadpool versus Carnage doesn't wear thin, because already we're getting round 2 in issue 3. What's going to happen in issue 4 and issue 5? In the end, I have a feeling they're both going to walk their separate ways. Nothing's going to be resolved. We're going to get another Carnage miniseries, and Deadpool's going to go back to his weird, crazy miniseries.
Or as we've seen in every Versus book, they're going to wind up teaming up for some odd reason.
No, Carnage will never team up with Deadpool. Ever. However, the first 2 issues are good. The rest of the miniseries has yet to be determined. I do like the way Carnage is done in this book. I'll show some artwork of Carnage because the cover does not do the internal artwork for Carnage justice.
Well, that was a good one.
No, I'm going to get a better one. That one's good too.
Oh, that one.
That last page.
Oh, wait, but did you show that? I think.
No, I didn't show the last page.
Oh, I thought you did.
So, artwork's nice, story looks interesting, hopefully it just doesn't wear thin. This could have been easily a 4-issue miniseries and it would have saved us, or the story itself, an extra issue to worry about pushing out, you know? But this is going to be a 5-issue mini, so... At least to my knowledge, I could be wrong. Final issue and book of the week from Marvel. From Marvel, book of the week. And that is Superior Spider-Man issue 31, the grand finale.
Peter's back!
Peter's back, and basically Carly gives him the briefy, the outline of everything that's gone on since Pete's been gone. So Pete remembers everything about what's gone on with Doc Ock, like what he's done, or at least most of what he's done. J. Jonah Jameson is in ruin. Alchemax is basically with Liz and Normie Jr. There's something twisted with them, and Pete notices it by the end of the issue, and he's like, I'm going to have to keep an eye on Liz.
And he helps the
really,
Avengers.
The hilarious part of this book is when Pete shows up to save Spider-Man 2099, he's like, Miguel O'Hara, what are you doing here? And then he's like, why did you leave me? He's like, Doc Ock was in my mind, and Miguel's like, yeah, that sounds stupid enough to be right, let's go. Then he comes face to face with the Avengers, and they're like, hey, thanks for the assist, Spider. And he's like, and they're like, but we thought you quit. And he's like, I did? Well, like that's even possible, Cap. You know what they say, once an Avenger. So basically, he's back on the Avengers team now. No questions asked. And they're like, oh, okay, whatever. We get Menace versus Spider-Man, which was good. Some creepy dialogue from Normie, from Tiboris Stone. Obviously, this is all gonna, the whole Alchemax thing, which basically leads into the destruction of New York, which is hinted in here also. Obviously, I think that's gonna play into the Spider-Man. I think this book is not only setting up for the Amazing Spider-Man story arc, but at least the Alchemax parts are setting up for the Spider-Man 2099 story. And there's going to be a brief spoiler here, so guys, if you didn't read the book yet, which if you haven't, you really are way behind.
Because I was shocked when I read
But for those of you that were expecting somebody different as Green Goblin, spoiler alert, no, it was Norman Osborn. However, he pulled a Joker and changed his face. Well, the Joker ripped his face off. Norman Osborn changed his face.
As well as his identity and a different name.
Yeah, he was...
Mason Banks.
Right, who basically... funded Alchemax, which took over Oscorp for his grandson.
Plus he didn't want to be noticed as well with the whole face and everything.
Right. So Spider-Man saves Anna Marie. Liz somehow allows, she pushes that device, which she swears it was a reflex, but it allowed Norman Osborn to escape. You get this really demented picture at the bottom with Normie Jr. I mean, look at those eyes, man.
Those eyes look evil.
So Spider-Man basically saved the day. However, because he cured the Goblin, you got Norman with his internal dialogue or his internal thoughts saying, I was crazy before. Now I'm thinking logically, and the next time I come, you're not going to see it coming until it's way too late. So again, playing into future story arcs for Amazing Spider-Man.
And I like that last page right there where it shows like the cover.
The homage to Doc Ock. Spidey, I have a feeling we'll see Doc Ock again. I don't think Otto Octavius is truly gone forever.
Even I knew that.
Then you get the cover gallery. Now you paid a lot of money for this book, right? So this has to be more, right?
Oh, there's more.
Well, there's a second story with Aunt May, MJ. Basically, it wraps everything up that was left loose as far as Peter Parker's life.
Basically, the
Aunt May,
effects and consequences.
Yeah, he promises Aunt May he won't help Spider-Man anymore. Obviously, it's going to be fun seeing Peter Parker get used to Parker Industries. MJ is still as stupid as ever. She's like, you know what? I don't even want to hear about what happened to you or who was in your mind. I can't follow this anymore. I'll always care for you, but your life is way too consuming. I think we're done. Carly all of a sudden changes characters or characteristics, or her personality changes, and she agrees with MJ, so she became as stupid as MJ now, and she's like, it's better that we leave, that nobody be with. She even brings up Gwen.
Basically, she wants to just move on with her life.
Yeah, she's gonna move on. MJ's gonna move on, and then you got Pete, who goes to.
This was a shocker.
J. Jonah Jameson, yeah, and he actually makes amends for what Doc Ock did. He shows J. Jonah Jameson, here's the Octobot that recorded you telling me to kill Alistar Smythe, and of course J. Jonah Jameson's like, you're full of crap. What are you talking about? And he's like, you know what? I'm not here to prove who I am. You need to stay in office and fix things. And he's like, I don't need to stay. I don't want to stay. He's like, it's your call, but if I were you, I would stay and fight. And he's like, maybe if you'd shown up a half hour ago before I resigned. So basically, J. Jonah Jameson resigned so that he could go back on the other side. You see him walking past news reporters. He's like, so long, you vermin. Won't have J. Jonah Jameson to kick around anymore. From now on, I do the kicking. So guess what? Starting with Amazing Spider-Man #1.
He'll be working at the
Daily Bugle as the head
again. Yeah.
And then you get a wonderful couple of pages of Silver Surfer. Which issue? I have no clue. Probably issue 2.
#1, right?
I don't think so.
It 2?
It says Planet Nightcrawler. I didn't see this yet, so
Maybe it is 2.
maybe it is 2. It says Silver Surfer 1 on sale now, so.
Also, it is #1.
Yeah. Also, if you guys didn't notice, this is the variant cover. This is the Scotty Young. Not the Scotty Young, my butt. This is the. Oh my God! Why did his name leave my mind for a minute?
Dan Slott?
No, the artist. Wow, it's that late that I can't remember.
Is it in the book?
No, it doesn't say it in the book. Wow, why is my mind? Did my mind completely blank with this? Doesn't say.
I can't even think of it either. Oh wait, or was it? Oh wow.
Well, it's a connecting cover. It's exclusive to Midtown Comics. It's one of 2. The next one is going to connect right here. It's going to be Amazing Spider-Man issue #1.
But Peter Parker's back.
Yep.
That's why I wear my Spider-Man shirt proudly, because he's back.
I hate that I can't remember who. Wow, I'm going to remember once the video's off. But anyway,
you can put an annotation.
It was the issue itself though felt very rushed. It felt like it tied up the major loose ends, but there's still loose ends. Mary Jane is still an idiot. Carly's gone. Now we've got Anna Marie.
I think Anna Marie's gonna be his new lover probably with this whole thing. Unless they're gonna start over again with Peter falling in love with
he read
MJ
the book, by the way.
I did. I was gonna give my thoughts of the book, but
what's your thoughts?
I really think that they actually
you share your thoughts. I'm gonna see if I can find out the name of the art. Thank you. Because I know a lot of you guys are yelling at me right now in the comments.
You can check the battery. So basically, when I read the Superior Spider-Man, like, I thought that it was a really interesting book. I mean, Peter Parker just coming back and fixing up all the mistakes that Dr. Octopus did, along with the consequences and everything. I mean, they accepted him back as if, nothing really happened. Well, some people did, not a lot. But it's just really amazing how...
Oh, you got it.
You remember, didn't you?
Yep, I didn't even have to go. It just hit me when I looked at my screen.
And basically, since I didn't have any Marvel books this week, which is actually a shocker, because I always had...
Covers J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, J. Scott Campbell.
J. Scott Campbell. There are 2 J. Scott Campbells. There's a 3-1, which is issue 31, 1 and .1, And this is the 2, which is issue number 31 and number 1.
So basically, I was going to conclude, since I didn't have a Marvel book this week, like I said, which is very weird because I always do. So far, I say that that's the book of the week. Superior Spider-Man, and can't wait for the Amazing Spider-Man. Who knows? Maybe I'll jump on that.
You should.
Peter Parker. I am. I really...
So it's going to be interesting. I'm not really that interested. You know, if you look at it, everything fixed up for Spider-Man. Spider-Man's back exactly where he was before Doc Ock really took over, minus a few things. You know, now he's back to being, you know, a little lower on the totem pole than where he was before. However, Peter Parker's life is completely turned upside down. Anna Marie, for one. Carly's now gone. MJ has a boyfriend. He promised that to Aunt May that he won't help Spider-Man anymore, but he is Spider-Man.
Gwen Stacy, did she die?
Gwen Stacy's dead. Yeah, that stayed in
continuity.
continuity.
Okay, yeah, because I remember she died.
I really wish they would undo this stupid promise to Mephisto and just go back to the way things were. And if Aunt May has to die,
still on that?
Yeah, of course they are, dude. Aunt May doesn't know Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and
no,
I will never be together. Yeah.
No, I thought you meant the other thing. You said Mephisto.
Yeah, I wish they would undo one more day.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you meant the other one. I forgot.
I hate Mephisto.
Did Madam Web even show up at all?
No, Madam Web is still in a coma for all we know, for up to now at least.
Oh, go figure. She'll probably be an Amazing Spider-Man, absolutely.
Oh, she'll come out of the coma.
One way or another.
Amazing! Spider-Man! I'm out of my coma now. I need to warn you. Yeah, it's too late. Thank you. It's been a year. I'm fine now. It only took you a year. A year of my life I'll never get back now. But the good news is, yes, Peter Parker's back. And yes, Amazing Spider-Man's returning. Hopefully they'll renumber it back when we get to issue 800. Back to the way it belongs. In the 800s. Not in the issue number 1s. Even though they did have a previous volume, which then went back to the numbers anyway. So this newer volume should go back to the numbers too. Anyway, guys, that's it for Marvel. Thank you guys for sticking around. Don't forget to check out comic-related and comicfrontline.com. Together we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Guys, I have a bunch of new things on my channel that I literally introduced this past week. And the podcast, new episode will be up on Thursday. Fingers crossed, knock wood. Tomorrow night's the live show.
Yep.
And got the morning cast, or the morning stream as I call it, the Dark Avenger morning stream, which can happen at any time during the weekend. It's going to be with me and Brand. Who knows, maybe I'll do solo morning streams. Not in the morning, though. Those will be PM, like the ones I do
really
early
funny
morning.
if you two should sing that Good Morning song. You know, good morning, good morning.
That would be a good intro, though.
That would be a good intro, see? That's a good idea.
And not only is my podcast part of the Zone 4 Podcast Network, but now so is the morning stream. So, 2 things that are now connected to zone4podcast.com. If you have not checked that website out yet, check that website out as well.
There.
And yeah, so thank you guys so much. Take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys really soon in another video. Or in the next review, which is DC Comics.
Yep.
See you guys there.
Later, guys.